All right, got it. Is everybody coming in? Looks like we've got everybody coming in. All right, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. It is Friday. What is this? February 10th, I think, 11th. Oh my gosh, we're getting through the year. This is Friday with the Founders. My name is E.R. Wolf with Elify. I'm joined by my partner, Guy Toole, and the Elify community here. We're going to be letting people in as we go along. And I want to thank you guys for taking some time to join us for one of my favorite events of the week. And it's the time we get to spend together, talk with each other. I'm looking at the backgrounds for people coming in. I loving them. Thank you guys so much. Friday with the Founders. This is our opportunity to get together as a community to talk about all things Elify and to really support each other, celebrate our victories for the week, talk about what's been going on, get questions answered, give a quick overview of the affiliate stuff as well, and really make it about the community, right? About helping each other and leading everybody on a path to success. So, Guy, with that being said, I know we have a topic for today if we want to get into it. And I want to open this up for questions. I want to open this up for comments. If you have a question or a comment, you can either raise your hand using that reactions tab in the Zoom here. If you're watching this on YouTube because we're streaming live and you want to join the conversation, look out for that Zoom link as well, and you can jump into there. Also, if you have a question you don't feel like coming on live and asking it, you can throw it down in the chat or in the comments there, and we'll try to get to them as well. So, Guy, one of the things I've been thinking about is the power of leveraging technology, right? We created Elify. It's a mashup of elevate and simplify, and it's all about how we elevate our business and simplify our lives. And part of that comes with leveraging technology. And anybody who knows, and if you don't know who this person is, it's worth looking them up. They're a really powerful thought leader, and it's a guy by the name of Ray Kurzweiler, and he wrote a book called The Singularity is Near. It's all about the advancement of technology and computing and sort of processing power and all of that type of stuff. But one of the things that he said was impactful in his life, and I thought about this, and it keeps coming back to me, is he was reading a magazine when he was young. I don't know if it was like a National Geographic, a Time magazine, but it had this chart, and it was like the speed of animals, and it had the turtle all the way through the cheetah and every animal in between. And about, halfway down the list is man and how fast man can run. And then a little bit later down on the list, it shows man on a bicycle. And it's like, whoa, look at man is leveraging technology, and he creates this efficiency, and it improves his speed over time, and it sort of leapfrogs him. It's not as fast as the cheetah by all means, but he's speeding himself up. And, for me, when I think about that, that's powerful, right? If we can get these tools that we can leverage that can help us speed up and move forward in what we're trying to accomplish, we'd be at a disadvantage if we didn't take advantage of those tools, if we didn't take advantage of that technology. And when we talk about technology here, obviously we're talking about the internet, we're talking about mobile technology, we're talking about leveraging our digital business cards or the landing pages we're creating within the Shuffle application and how they help us accomplish or achieve what we're trying to do. So, I want to throw that out there about leveraging technology, Guy, and open the conversation to everybody in the room.
I'll add some elements in there. We talk technology and being able to utilize it to advance whatever you do, business, personal, advance you forward in getting to where you want to go. Utilizing something, I can dig a hole with my hands. I can dig one with a shovel and be a lot more efficient. I can dig one with a backhoe and cover a lot of ground. That's going to be an example of technology, making sure that you utilize it. There's so many technologies out there that people can be utilizing that work really well together. And I think that's so many things or something that people can take away is we're not saying we're the end all be all, nor do we ever want to be all things to all people. We want to be one thing that is of value to you, that in turn can be the conduit to other technologies. We listen, we truly do listen to our customers, our affiliates, and requests and different types of things. We've had requests since day one on automation. Ultimately, automation is something that we believe there's a time and place for it, but in building relationships, we don't believe it's right. We believe that maybe in fostering or in initial sorting, maybe there's a play for it. So we allow the technology to work well with others, to be able to plug in and be able to have my drip campaigns, be able to have my drip emails, those different types of things. But knowing the know-how to be able to utilize those solutions as well. What we wanted to make here with our technology is something that is so simple that it can be replicated by the masses. And from a technology aspect, we feel it's simple compared to some other things out there that people might try to get to their network, their community, and say, use this. It's great in replication. Understand, yeah, it'd be great in replication, but there's learning curves and everything. The difference between an iPhone and an Android, there's a difference. And there's a reason why people don't change lanes, and they stay with what they like. They stay with what they've learned. Same thing happens with your PC compared to a Mac computer. It's just different. And it's got to be what you're used to or what you feel comfortable using. We feel with Shuffle, it's simple. There's no real technical information that you have to go get an education on how to do things. If you can pick a color, if you know how to drag and drop, if you can copy and paste a link, download an image, paste that image, you pretty much have it mastered. Now it's just knowing how you want to lay it out. And that's where we give you the ability to do it yourself, give you the ability to control your content. I was on with an affiliate yesterday talking about, some people within his network that he brought into the community, and was having some struggles because people didn't want to sit down and take the time to learn those little elements, and not everyone will. So looking at how can we support them as an affiliate? How can I support someone when they're first on to maybe help them create their first card, their second card, whatever that is? Because then it's simply just being able to push a button to share. Figuring out if you're sharing it to an individual through a campaign, a link, QR, tap, whatever that is, empowering them to go over and be able to do that and say, there's value to this because I'm getting notifications of people looking at things and what they're clicking on. And I'm excited to be able to say that my business, I understand what's happening. A difference also, ER, that I know sort of put it together the other day. Kathy actually asked the question, and why we were meeting, I went and just did a little bit of research, and through technology is understanding your ROI between something that's offline and something that's online. What does anybody want to wager a guess? And it's fairly simple when you think about it. What your ROI is on a paper business card. There's people that spend hundreds. There's people that might spend thousands. There's people that go down the free route or go down the Vistaprint route. The ROI of a paper business card, and in fact, any type of paper collateral, is how many times you share it. That's all it's going to come down to. How many times you share it, and how many times people are going to look at that card and say, that's somebody I want to work with. Compared to having that in a digital form, you can exponentially increase your ROI by hundreds or thousands based on a community. Being able to have it on your phone, having those links, sharing it to other individuals. I could share it to James, who then James shares it to Sanders, who shares it to Mike. And my ROI starts expanding and starts compounding because I'm building a community where all the cards are in a hat. They're all out there for people to grab, people to share. And if someone grabs one, someone else can grab the exact same one. It's not finite. It's not finite yet, right? That's something that could be amazing. But being able to know that we just wanted to make something simple. We wanted to make it so it can be accessible by anyone and everyone, that If you want to get branding, marketing created, you can create it on the platform. And then it's about sharing it. Your ROI is going to be based on your share. It's not, it didn't work for me if you didn't work it itself. That's all I have.
So true, Guy. And James, I see your hand up. I'm going to throw it over to you in just a second, but I want to call out 2 points that I heard you talking about that I think are really powerful to understand, because when I think about the power of leveraging technology, Guy, I think about how accessible that technology is and where we are in that technology sort of growth curve, right? When I first got online, and I've been an affiliate marketer, an online promoter, earning an income online since 2000. It's crazy to think about 22 years just sort of sitting in front of a computer, cashing in that mailbox money and sitting there going, I had to learn a lot of skills in order to be in that space at that time. And what I love about leveraging technology is as technology progresses, it becomes more accessible to the masses. And I think that's something that's really exciting about Shuffle, because to Guy, your point, if you can fill out a form, if you can select a color, if you can pick a template and upload an image, which we're all pretty much familiar with nowadays. I mean, if you can do that from your smartphone, that's accessibility to the masses. That's a conduit to allow people to come on. The other thing really is, and this is what I think is a pitfall of the digital age. The pitfall of the digital age is automation. It's trying to create that catch-all thing that does it automatically. And the reality is, when we first started out, that was the numbers game. You drove a lot of traffic. You didn't have any personal relationship, and you sort of played the numbers game. What came in the funnel, what exited out, and that was the conversion rate, and that's what you got. And what I've learned over time is the true value of technology is the expansion of community. And just welcoming people into this chat right now and talking with everybody. We're in Colorado. There's a few other people from Colorado in the call. I know, James, you're down south for me, Guys up north. We love it. Colorado's great. We're going to have some snow today. We got people coast to coast on this call. We got people in the center in Dallas and New York, everywhere else in between. And that's one of the things I love most of all is we can create a worldwide or even a national community of individuals who can come together and work with each other. And that sense of community and that sense of relationship is something that never gets addressed when you talk about automation. And when I think about business in the digital age, the highest level of conversion that I've ever seen online is, even though you're doing high tech, is when you leverage high touch, when you actually have relationship with the people that you're connecting with, and facilitate some dialogue so that you work together to solve a problem or help each other out. And I think that's what's so powerful when I think about this Elify community and what we're doing here and why we're so passionate about it. So I'm going to stop, jump off the soapbox there, throw it over to my friend James here, and let us know what's on your mind.
Hey, thank you all for being here. Thank you, ER Guy, for having us here. When you mentioned Tech Advantage, man, you had me taking some notes down. One of the things I thought about is, for all of us in the community, who goes to the actual SBDC, your Small Business Development New Business classes, new business meetings? Who goes to your Chamber of Commerce's new business monthly
right.
Mike? Who goes to your Chamber of Commerce to have meetings, meet people? Who goes to your local networking events? Let me tell you why you can go there, folks, and how you can build your this platform with there. Those new businesses, guess what? They don't have the technology to promote or advance their business. They're brand new businesses trying to figure out, how can I get out of here? What can I do? They don't have a website. I put in the chat my website I bought, but I linked it to my Elify card. I show a business like you can buy a website for $20 for $20, $30 for the next 2 years, and you have this link to your Elify card. As ER and Guy already stated, how we have these templates already set up. So I have a new business. I'm trying to get into coaching. Well, I don't have time to do all that. Well, guess what? There's actually an Elify card with that. I'm getting into a supplement business. There's an Elify card for that. So I paid the $20, $30 for 2-3 years to have that website. But now I have the $30 I spent a month to have the website linked to my Elify card to promote me. So even though your business is whatever you're selling, you have to add the fact that your Elify card can do the same thing for them. So going out here and doing your business at the SBDC, at the SBA, your Chamber of Commerce, your networking groups, you're actually building your business, your personal business, but you're also building your clients in Elify by showing them, hey, technology can have this. Something Guy said I actually use when I'm presenting. Your paper that you're having, your paper business cards, paper flyers, You have no way to track that. You can make 1,000 flyers, 4 million business cards, put them all across the world, and you have no way of seeing what comes back except saying, hey, how did you find me? The business card. Well, I pulled my app out and I showed them, here's the tracking. I've used my bio card this many times. It's been seen this many times. This card's been seen this many times. I see the ROI that's coming back off of my card. When you have your phone and you're going out, you should have your QR code scanned either on your home page or have it saved as a favorite on your folder booth. So therefore, if for some reason, hey, you don't have your hard card, you know what? Let me try scanning it. Some of these new phones or some of the older phones do not have the NFC turned on. Well, guess what? You put your QR code up and say, here, look at this. Now, right now, Mike, you can see right here how I actually had you scan my card. You can see the tracking and following to me. You're a new business trying to get out here. You don't have the capital to actually go forth and pay $300, $500 to have a website built, or the $50 to $100 a month to have it maintained. You can get all of that done one time with your Elify setup, and you now have 10 different sites you can set up for a landing page, a tracking page, promotion page, whatever you're gonna do. So in closing, let me get off the soapbox. You need to be going to your local Chamber of Commerce, your local SBDC, promote your business, but build your Elify account. Back to you.
I love it, James. I love it. I think that's so powerful. And I think one of the things I love about Friday with the Founders is when we all come together and share some tips and tricks and celebrate successes together. And what you talk about is something any one of us can do at any time. There's an event going on live, in real life, IRL, offline somewhere you can go to, and even online if you're in a place where you can't get out. And the whole thing is tapping into that community. James, I remember the first time I started a business, and it was scary. You know what I mean? I didn't know what I was doing. I was young at the time, right? I didn't know what I was doing. I'd never done it before. I was sort of finding my way in the world, doing that type of stuff. Now I know the process. I know how quick it is, how easy it is, how simple it can be. And now I become a resource to help other people. To your point, those people who are showing up to those events, they're in the same position that you maybe are in or were once in. And if you can be a help to them, they're going to look to you as a giant resource and a facilitator of introducing you even to other people. And that becomes something that has a ripple effect. To the point you made and Guy made earlier about the ROI on cards. I remember I read a statistic once, and this was when we were starting everything up, Guy, right? These little things right here. I've got this one card because I don't have anybody else's cards. You'll see use it all the time as my example. And the reality is the statistic, 90 to 95% of these are thrown away within the first 5 days of being received. Okay. And you have no measurability after handing it off to somebody. You don't know if they walked to the trash can on the way out the door and threw it in there. You don't know if they kept it in the shoebox on their desk or in that circular filing cabinet, in their office. And I think that's one of those big missed opportunities, right? It's this vestigial piece of the 16th century that's out there along with a lot of this other print stuff. And you sort of just go out there and play the numbers game. But if you already know statistically that 90% of the time it's not going to be valuable, then what are you betting on? The other 10%? I think that's the big thing for me that says, I got to go in a different direction. I got to do something that others aren't doing so I can get what others aren't getting. And a lot of that is just leveraging digital technology to get out and get the word out. I think the other thing that's so powerful about our cards, the landing pages that people are creating, and Guy, you mentioned this on how the ROI expounds. And I learned this very early on. These things are evergreen. Right? You post them and they're sitting up there like digital billboards as traffic sort of passes through. Like you post this on social media, I still get little pings off of cards that I posted a year and a half ago that I haven't had to do any more work on. They're just sort of sitting out there as eyeballs go by. And that's so powerful to have these digital billboards that we can be posting in different areas or sharing with other people and having measurability every time they come back to it. And depending on what you want to leverage that card or that page for really is going to determine the outcome that you're getting on it. And I love when we get together on times like Tuesday or anybody who joined us on Thursday, where we're actually strategizing on how to use your card, how to build your card, and how to optimize that card so that it produces results for you. I think, Guy, this is one of the things I've seen the most is the members of this community who come in, play around with the technology, actually experience how easy it is to use, and then start to iterate on their cards, start to see the results of that. But the people who come in and they're like, nah, I don't know about this, or I don't want to take on it. It sounds, too monumental to create. They don't get that advantage, and they're missing out on a massive, massive opportunity to come in and build a funnel or build a hub or build a digital business card that's going to serve a purpose for taking them forward in their business.
I think they're missing out on opportunity of community, because ultimately there's that word. That's what Shuffle and Elify, the true power is, from the ROI aspect of what does your digital business card do for you. There's some great things that it does for you, but thinking about expanding that into my network and empowering my network to come in and be a part of the community that then allows them to share your information, you to share theirs. The power of this network is going to be based on community and bringing people in droves, because that's how it's going to become a global business. That's how it's going to become being influential in the community. I'm not going to let too much out of the bag, but there's things that are happening that are ER and I had to do a lot of research, a lot of research to figure out the next play of what Shuffle and Elify is going to be. And I would encourage to start building community. It's going to be pretty amazing, but understanding that since day one, the power of Elify is all based on the community.
100%, 100%. I want to open this up for anybody who's got any questions, comments, celebrations, tips, tricks they want to share with anybody. We want to welcome that conversation. Obviously, this is what this is all about. For those of you who have been in the chat sharing your cards, I'm loving looking at each of these cards, loving seeing how you guys are sharing. You know what I mean? I see a hand go up. Go on ahead, unmute yourself, ask your question. Nor, good to have you on.
Good morning. And I'm just excited about Elify, because what I've got to experience through the tragedy of my mother passing was creating that card. And creating that card got me an opportunity to connect with someone who is like, oh my God, how did you do this? What did you do? Mm-hmm. And it only took, the amazing thing about it is I put a whole lot of mental time into putting it together, but I like doing it. And it took probably about maybe 45 minutes to an hour to put everything together. Yeah. We had the obituary done. I put together a little video, and it was amazing. And like you said, that cards people are passing along the card, and I'm getting notifications like, what the heck? It's doing all this. It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm really grateful that I got this opportunity to do this and to work with this business. Thank you much.
Yeah, thank you. In fact, for those of you who are watching this and maybe not in the chat, I just want to share the card that you created. It's amazing. And again, if I was to ask you, Noor, how much design experience do you have? How much coding experience do you have? How many websites have you built before? You know what I mean? I think you'd come back and say, look, I'm not an expert, and this is accessible for everybody. And that's what I was talking about earlier. You know what I mean? The ability for anybody to come on and create something that serves the purpose that they want it to serve for them and get it out there, and then watch that ripple effect. To see it get reshared and get repinged just shows you the abundance of love that people had for your mom. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing. It is amazing. And no coding experience. No, I just like playing around with the computer. People call me a techie. I'm a techie and like to have fun doing it.
Yep. Well, thank you so much for joining and sharing that, and keep on using and sharing. I love it. It turned out great. Okay, I see, Guy, there's a chat message in here, and from Rose. So how do I suggest our service to religious organizations and local nonprofit organizations, as well as came across a lady who wants to sell her bakery goods. She mentioned to me that she doesn't have money to have a brick and mortar place, but has an Etsy store. So again, these are all amazing use case scenarios for everybody out there. First and foremost, this was from day one, Guy and I strategizing, how do we make this accessible to the masses? There's a paid option, right? A lot of us are using premium services. We've got 10 cards, we've got access to templates, but if cost is an objection that you're taking and sharing this with people, there is a free version that they can leverage that can point people in the right direction. And maybe that free version is something that you take to those nonprofits to start, to those churches and religious organizations to start, and they start to see and realize the power of this. Same thing for that bakery. Maybe they're just operating on Etsy, and that's where they're allowing their orders and everything to come from. But when they're out and about and they're trying to drive people to their Etsy store, they can leverage a shuffle card, and you could put links and buttons. You could put images of all the baked goods that she makes and a link and a button to say, hey, if you want to check out the Etsy store and put in your order, there's a direct link to it. She could even add a lead capture form if she used the campaigns and say, do you want something baked? Can I make something specific for you, etc. On that card. So Rose, I would really dig into that. I'd also recommend just when we talk about use case scenarios and all the different places or ways we could apply this technology, I'd really encourage you and everybody else on the call to join us on the Tuesdays, Tech Tuesdays at 2, where we can really take a topic like that and dial it in and discuss an example in detail and really go through the process of, hey, I'm going to grab a template. I'm going to modify this template to build it out to use it for the bakery store example. Or I'm going to grab a card and just create a business card so that I, as that baker, can go out and just, next time I'm operating that booth and selling my goods, maybe it's at a show, I can drive people back to the Etsy store to order. So hopefully that helps out in the question. If you have more that you want to know on that or ask on that, please feel free to unmute and ask, or raise your hand and ask. And James, I think you even, if you want to comment to that, shared a card just now, if you want to talk about that, that you made for a church.
Yeah, I was trying to let Rose. So one of my local churches, I actually created a card for them. I put it in the chat. And what I did, I actually went and got all the information, the website, the donation link, just YouTube, Instagram. I created that and I gave it to my church as a gift. And it worked out great. They're using it. And the best thing about it was what I told the pastors and the board was, everybody's talking about your church. Everybody's putting it out there to, hey, let's go ahead and donate. But you know what? We don't all have all these cards all the time, but you always have your phone. Yeah. So I had them just send a link out to everybody and just have them save it to their phone. So they are talking about it. They can say, hey, here's our church information. They can scan it, send it out, and build up a business. And it was very helpful, very supportive. They've been still using to this day a lot of things on there. And I had wrote down, about a tip that I did. I talked to y'all last time about how I went and bought 5 of the cards and had them on hand. And I was using them just to show people an example. Well, I had a client, I just showed them, I took my regular card and I took a new one, opened it up, scanned and made the card and showed them how to flip flop back on it. And they bought one on the spot. So I bought 5 of them and 3 of them already gone. So I'm using that as a promo, as Kathy made the promo cards and told me about it. I used the actual hard copy card in conjunction with that and made a couple of sales. So I'm not telling you to go out and buy these cards and have them on hand, but they are a selling point to have the ability to create and show instantly how they can do it. And when they make their cards, I actually say, hey, okay, great. I'm going to let you give me your hard copy and let's get the numbers so I can contact corporate and have them transfer the serial number to you. So that's it. And like I put in the comments, this Zoom background, we're on a lot of Zoom meetings, folks, everywhere around the place, doing this, that, and with everything. Mike always has his background. I'm going to cheat and get with him somehow. Hey, how do I get my interactive with a little movement? Because that movement in his background makes you look at his screen. Yeah. But if you're in a Zoom call and they just look at your QR code and scan it, that's your QR code. That's your scan for your ER. That's your scan for your business. That's your scan for whatever's going on for you to do. Don't be on the Zoom meeting and don't waste your time. If you're on Zoom, all of us who don't have our cameras on, your background is not being used to build your business. That's it. I'm out.
Yeah, and just another opportunity. And I know it came up earlier with the church example. Kathy, I'm going to ask you to talk about that nonprofit example in just a second. It's really about connecting with other people and inviting them to join the community, right? If you're part of a church or an organization, think about that. How many times have we heard, hey, invite a guest to next week's service, etc. We've got a big event coming on and we'd like to let people know about it. Get the word out in the community out there. That's something you could have on your device, share with your friends and neighbors and invite them to join and allow them to go out and reshare, etc. Super duper powerful. The same with nonprofits. And I know Kathy's got an amazing nonprofits, her Little Souls one. I'm going to throw it over to her so she can talk about how she promotes that, how she has it as part of her whole regular card and links back out to that. Kathy, go ahead.
Hey guys. Yeah, so we use it with Little Souls for a couple different things. So Little Souls at Rest is a nonprofit that one of my girlfriends founded after having a miscarriage. And we are able to help families all over the US now bury babies under 20 weeks of loss of miscarriage. So we are able to we have several different cards. We have one on how to obtain another nonprofit that we work with. Supplies the what's the word? Caskets. So we send that card first. Here's how to order this. Here's, what to do, what to say, how we pay for it, all the things. This is what all the steps. Then we have the next one that gives them the options of where they would like to bury the baby and how we help. And then we also, we had a fantastic campaign when we did out a postcard. We put a QR code on the back. And so we were able to track, we knew that those postcards had been received by the recipients. We were doing a fundraiser. Mm-hmm. And so we saw that everybody started posting, hitting on the QR codes that they were working. And then what they were is they went to some more information about what the fundraiser was about. And we had a couple questions come in. And so what I did, it was a Friday night and I was sitting on my computer and I went, you know what? I went straight to my shuffle card. I added an FAQ section and I added the answers to the questions that we kept getting in repeatedly. So it was a live QR code that was already mailed out, but I was able to instantaneously go in there and update an FAQ page. So everybody else that opened that was able to see those answers. So it was absolutely fantastic for us to be able to use it that way. But our whole team uses the shuffle cards.
I mean, I'm just blown away every time I hear about the different use cases, the different ways people apply the technology to support some mission or vision of what they're trying to accomplish, right? In my mind, it always just started out as a digital business card, right? How do I connect with somebody? How do I do it in a way that's better than a physical business card? How do I give them my contact information so they can get a hold of me or watch a video or read a little bit more information or visit a website or, go to social? How do I curate that path that they're going to follow? And what amazes me over these last few years of having the technology out there is, well, but I want to do that not about me, but about something I stand for, right? My brand, my product, my service, my nonprofit, my church, etc. And the reality is it's applicable to all of those areas. And it's just Absolutely. Up to you to envision what you want to accomplish with that and then get out there and create a card. And Kathy, to your point, I always come back and say, and as a perfectionist, I struggle with this at times, but done is better than perfect, right? Get the card built that you envision, get it out there, get some feedback on that, and you can come back and revise that card. And the beauty of this is the links that you are sharing for that card, as long as you're just updating a card, are still all valid and all evergreen. So when those people come back and the card is updated, they're seeing all of that new material. It's super powerful if you use it properly. And I think part of that, Kathy, I'm going to throw it back to you for a pitch here on training, but part of that is learning and understanding how to use things, right? We talk about having a plan that you want to implement. Then we talk about preparing, and that's about having the knowledge and the skills and the tools to execute on that plan. So Kathy, I'm gonna throw it over to you to sort of hype up our Tuesdays, because I want people to participate in that. The community that we have that joins us on Tuesdays, I love them to death. And I think
so much fun.
Yeah, we love it. Go ahead.
We love, yeah, no, absolutely. You know me, I love like just nothing that says training rhymes with Kathy. But yeah, I mean, I'm all about training. I'm all about not just showing somebody how to use Shuffle, but then for you and I, like what you just said, like, we love to see what somebody comes up with, because then all of a sudden we're like, oh my gosh, we didn't even think about that. But I actually want to dip back in real quick on the cookie idea. And this is another idea you and I talked about last week. I know, like, you had a pipe break, right? You have the plumber come in. The plumber should have Shuffle and have a sticker that has this QR code. He's sticking it on your hot water heater. So next time you're not calling, like, who should I call for a plumber? You just go to your hot water heater. Bleep, there's a guy. There's his card. This is who I'm calling, right? Same with the cookies. Same with, like, you know, you guys all know Chris, my husband. He's doing a big thing right now. He built a smoker box. He's smoking cheese, and he's you know, giving it to a bunch of guys at work. Well, it's like, hey, let's put a QR code on there, and he's showing the progression. So when they get this block of smoked cheese, they can see, like, here's what the box looked like. Here's what I did. Here's my favorite recipes that I make with this. And here's a QR code that's going to take you to all that stuff. And of course, he's known as the barbecue guy, and everybody's always asking him for different ideas and recipes. And I'm like, you know, you can make a card on barbecue. You can make a card on the cheese. You can make whatever you want. Yeah. And it just becomes kind of just your way of sharing information. It's not just business information.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, it's how are we leveraging technology, right? It doesn't have to be about your business specifically. It can be about all the things that you're doing where you want to connect with people and share some tidbit of information. And it's funny you say cookies. Right now, my daughter, she's 6.5 years old. She's in Girl Scouts, and it's Girl Scout cookie season, right? Like, they're going crazy. It's boxes. I think even James has a box up of those cookies. Our house is full of them. And what we did is we created a little card. Then they actually put that QR code on a flyer. We went out to the mailbox and we put that on the mailbox. We went around, and, you know, this weekend we're going to go door to door. And if somebody doesn't answer, we're going to just put a little tab taped to their door that just says, hey, I'm a neighborhood Girl Scout, you know, your friendly neighborhood Girl Scout. And if you'd love to learn more about supporting our troop, scan this QR code. And it takes them to a page, and it's got all this great little information. And if it results in generating a few more cookie orders that we wouldn't have normally gotten, or creates a little bit more of a story about her and how they can support her troop, it's going to be so much more powerful. And again, that could be applied to the Girl Scout cookie. That could be applied to the baker. That could be applied to, you know, our candlestick maker, if I'm rhyming here, right? You know what I mean? But the smoking, the barbecue, all of that, there's an application for this all over the place. And I think about it, it really boils down. We've talked about this on Tuesdays, Kathy. Who am I sharing this with? And what do I want to share, right? Am I sharing it online to a community, and I'm going to have a background image with a QR code, or I'm going to be posting a link, or I'm going to be submitting something on social? Or am I doing stuff offline? Am I using a QR code at my booth, or maybe it's a digital fishbowl or a flyer or something else like that? We've got people who've got their QR codes that they built for a card, and they're putting them as advertising on their trucks, you know what I mean, or on their vehicles that are going out and around. Kathy, you just had one of these held up. I mean, this has got to be the best way to share with somebody in person. I know, James, you mentioned not everybody's got their NFC on, and you have to be aware of that and the power and the limitations of this. But the benefit is I flip it over if they don't have NFC on, and I'm saying, hey, scan this code. You know what I mean? I can come around and have the power to leverage this technology and create a frictionless process to connect with people and get them to go to the information I want to share with them. So super powerful. All right, guys, we've got about 20 minutes left in this. I want to do a quick call to action for anybody on here. If you do have any questions, comments, celebrations, successes that you want to share with the community on today's Friday with the founders, go on ahead and please either raise your hand or throw that in the chat. And we want to highlight you and go through that. Otherwise, if there aren't any of those, Guy, I know what we typically do at the end of these is go through a quick overview of the affiliate program. But I see, James, your hand just went up. So go on ahead, take the floor, my friend.
Oh, I'm actually about to tag a friend in here. I would like to hear which Mike's new secret technique he been doing. Mike always has something he comes up with, and he tests it for a little while, then he brings it to the crowd. So Mike, I'm calling you to the stage.
Well, I took something from I guess Guy and ER. I've used these before, but mine was large. When I showed up in Dallas, I had a big one. They had these small ones, and I had never saw it. And I said, well, gotcha. Okay, so I went and I ordered them. I got a whole bunch of them here with the lanyard, and I shrunk what I had that was big, because this looks better being small, hanging right here when I go to visit, all the different places I visit. And I have that information right here, and I have the card, if I want, slid in the back like they did.
Yep.
And I slide it in the back so the NFC is there when I touch it, or I flip it over and they can scan this, but I have the card in here in the front. But I still, because that's why I ordered one. I know y'all know I ordered one. I got one. So now I got two. One is in my wallet so that I can go and I'm talking to them and they say, okay, let's exchange cards. I go to my wallet, I pull it out, and they automatically want to grab it.
Yep.
I mean, it's just that reflex of them leaning forward is what I'm looking for. If they don't lean forward, if they they're going back, I don't want to give you my card next. But if I do this and they lean forward, I got you now. Now, when they go to grab it, I say, no, get your phone. Get your phone. Let me show you something that you don't know about that's going to change your business. Tap, and now I got them. I can take them wherever I want them to go.
I love it. That is awesome, Mike. That is awesome. And again, for those who aren't in the know yet, right, we're talking about this NFC technology, right? Near field communication, we call them Elify tap cards, and it's the ability to easily tap and share information direct on a mobile device, right? I just tapped and shared my link. The other thing, and if you can see it or you saw it on Mike's background, is the QR code. If I would have asked you how much of you loved QR codes back in 2015, most of you would have been like, what is a QR code? Then 2020 comes along and we have to social distance from everybody else. And we're playing around in this touchless environment. And lo and behold, we all get thrust into this. Go to a restaurant, scan a menu, go over here, scan this, scan that. And we all became familiar with these QR codes. And if this is all new to you and you're thinking, how do I implement this? How do I leverage this technology in my business, for my nonprofit, for my church, for whatever you're trying to do? This is the community you want to plug into, because we're going to talk about exactly how to implement some of these technologies. And we're going to look towards the thought leaders within this community, guys like James, guys like Mike, gals like Kathy, who are already leveraging it and seeing results and want to share with you exactly what to do. You know what I mean? How they're doing it. Mike, to have that in the lanyard, I think is so smart. To create that experience for people is so powerful. When they're leaning forward, that's the time to say, hey, I want to show you something. And then the language that you're using is so valuable. I'm going to show you something that's going to help you. It's not about me getting my info to you. It's about me creating that experience for you. Yes, I'm going to get my info to you, but you're also going to realize, hey, this could be applicable to what you're doing as well. And that's going to open up a whole opportunity for the people you're sharing it with. So, Mike, thank you so much for those tips and tricks. You always bring value to the meeting and to the Zoom. Thank you so much.
That's awesome.
Well, I think the other thing too, though, is to remember what your message is, right? I actually just did this over the past couple of days. Is I have kathyinman.com, right? And that goes to what I consider is kind of like my web landing page.
Yep.
But then I've updated what I'm sharing on my tap card, and it's totally different. Because when I'm tapping somebody and wanting to connect with them, that's more of an instantaneous connection. We've already met. Where kathyinman.com, you may not know who I am yet, right? So I'm going to tell you a little story about me. So it's also just like, what's the purpose of that specific card in that specific place?
Right.
So you can get to the business of what it's trying to do for you, right?
Absolutely.
I think that's why we want to have multiple cards, right? You want to have we always say the right information for the right person at the right time. That could be online, offline, everywhere in between, but you want to have the right thing built out. So you want to put some forethought into that. James, saw that hand go up one more time. Danon, we'll get to you in 1 second here. Go ahead, James.
So that's why I called on Mike. I knew Mike always got something in the box he hasn't put out yet. So you're telling me if I'm an employee who works at a job where I have to wear my lanyard all the time, I can have my business card in my lanyard. You're telling me if I'm a business person and I'm going to networking events, instead of having a name badge, because I don't have a name badge for my company, I can wear my lanyard and I can promote my business. You're telling me if I'm walking down the street or I'm just going to a convention for another company, I can have my lanyard with my NFC card or QR code attached to it. Wow, what an amazing idea. You're telling me as the president of a chamber of commerce, as I'm walking around meeting all these sponsors, members, and people in general, I can just use my lanyard to promote my business. Yeah, Mike, you pretty slick. That's why I called upon you. Back to you guys.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, look, guys, you want to be in these meetings so you can, open your ears, open your eyes, and see what's going on, because people are leveraging this technology and creating benefits for themselves and benefits for others. So, Dana, I saw that hand go up. Go on ahead, unmute yourself, ask away.
Yeah, Kathy, I wish you had made that statement like a year or two ago, because I just explained to ER and them. I made the card when my first card that I ever made. It was more so laid out like a website.
Yep.
And I was calling it a business card when it should have been called a website or a mini website. But now I know, so I thank you, and you put it in the best words. But my next question is, I know I kind of bugged y'all yesterday, but when you send out when you have somebody sign up for a free card, can you clone the card, the promotional card that you give them, and then they get that card, or no?
Yeah, good question, Dana. The answer is it depends on what card you're actually giving to them as that promo card. Some of them, if you've used something from the marketplace, right, which is an upgraded option, they're not going to be able to use that on the free account. Additionally, I know, Guy, you and I have been working on some forward-looking things. At the end of the day, for free users, it's most likely going to be one card, one template, one link, and they're going to be confined to using the free business card template. It's enough to, as they say, wet their whistle, but sort of once you've had a drink, you're going to want a little bit more, and they're going to need to upgrade into something more premium in order to get that flexibility. So you'll still have that promo card in your stack, and when they upgrade, you could send it over to them to clone. We did have a report over, I think it was yesterday, about some cloning stuff that there are some gaps where they're looking into on correcting some bugs from cloning some cards that were created on the advanced side. And remember, there is an advanced builder that you use in your desktop, and then there's a mobile builder that you can use on the desktop in your mobile device. Some of that can create some friction there. So, Dana, the answer is it depends, but in the future, shortly here, it's really only going to be one card template for those free individuals. So keep that in mind.
So when they fill out the subscription for the free one, they just get the card, they get the template that they're going to have to fill out. Okay, so I should just do like a small training on that, right? Just do a small, okay, so, okay, now my next thing is, since I'm already with Shuffle, would I be able to get one of those free cards to see exactly what's on there so I'll know what to talk about in my little video or whatever?
100%. In fact, it'll be an available template that we're flushing out right now. If anybody's been over to the website, and this is actually what I want to get into and share as we segue over, I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek of how this card is going to lay out. Because if you've been over to elifyshuffle.com, which is our promotional website, you can see there's some sample stuff sitting right here. And so, one of the teasers here is the free card is going to be very, very, very similar to this. Give them enough power to really highlight themselves and who they are and what they do and how somebody can connect with them. But it's not going to be one of these landing pages or microsites or things that us on the premium side are creating within Shuffle. So I will say, you want to preface it with that, Dana, when you're sharing out to people and promoting this. If I create a promo card, I'd love to show people what they can do. I want to show them what they can do, even if it's not what they get for free, so that they know what they need to upgrade so that they can get that. But it's also a good point to have that free example, something that's going to show them, even if you just need a place or a way to connect with people, you're going to have a way to do that in this application for, little to no cost. And I really think that's what it boils down to. As we round out this meeting in this last 8 minutes, I'm going to take an opportunity to invite everybody on this call and everybody who's going to watch this to think about joining this community and helping us grow the community. And growing the community is really, Guy, you mentioned it, it's about sharing. And it's not just about sharing what Elify is. It happens every time I share who I am, right? Every time I tell somebody, hey, I want to connect with you. And to Mike's point, to James' point, to everybody on this call, when I create that experience with those people, they go, hey, what is that? What is that? How do I get my own? What is that QR code that you're using? What is that tap card that you're using? What is that digital business card or that landing page or that microsite? How did you create that? And could you show me or point me in the right direction to create that for myself? And really, that's what we're talking about with our affiliate program. It's the ability to get paid to share. It starts out when you're sharing your own material and you're exposing what Elify and Shuffle does for you and what it could do for them. You'll see here, I'm on the main website. Our Douglas Baldwin is typically our demo account. I've just added that little tidbit of information on the end of that URL, and it tracks back to that individual. That's how sharing works. That's how affiliate marketing works. And if you want to get paid to share, we're going to invite you to listen up to this quick overview of the affiliate program, because in essence, you get paid to share. It's as simple as that. We've made it real easy. You enroll as an affiliate. Okay, you join as an affiliate. If you haven't joined as an affiliate, maybe you're joining this call as a Shuffle user and you're interested because you're out there sharing all the time. You log in at affiliate.elify.com with your Shuffle information, and you go through the Become an Affiliate form. It's literally a 3-question questionnaire with a little checkbox to become an affiliate. It's that simple. When you become an affiliate, you start promoting. You get these links. You can see my affiliate link. It's /ER, right? So if I'm sending people to the website, I go to elifyshuffle.com/ER or elifyshuffle.com/affiliate/ER, and it tracks back to me. And when somebody makes an informed decision to join this community, to join Shuffle, to get Shuffle for themselves, whether that's a free version or a paid version, it tracks back to me. That's affiliate marketing. And anytime somebody pays for their solution, they buy a premium solution of ours, you're going to start earning. It's as simple as that. So what can you earn real quick? We're going to go through it. You earn 10%. You get 10% residually for everybody you directly refer. If they go out and start referring, if they bring other people into the community, if they choose to get paid to share, you'll start earning an 8% override for everything that happens 6 degrees of separation from you. Finally, we talk about leverage. That's that network referral that you get 8% on. You can extend that if you go out and directly refer. These are for our active referrers, people who are passionate about helping us join and grow this community and be involved in this community. If you refer 10 people directly, we'll give you 1% on a 7th degree of separation. 20 people directly, 30 people directly, 40 people directly, we'll give you 1% on an 8th level, a 9th level, a 10th level. Really extend that leverage that you have available to yourself. What does that look like? Here's a quick visual, because I'm a visual learner. You as an affiliate, everybody you directly refer, again, this should be something people can easily understand. We want you to be clear on how you can earn with us. You get 10% for all of your direct referrals. You can make unlimited direct referrals. You can make free direct referrals. You get 10% of free, but if they upgrade, you start earning. You get 8% on everything from 6 degrees of separation. No qualification to earn that. You just start earning when they start referring. And if you go out and refer 10, 20, 30, or 40 people directly, you'll start earning 1% on 7, 8, 9, and 10. It's as simple as that, everybody. I'm going to stop there because I don't need to spend the rest of our time going into detail on here. I just encourage you, if you're interested in this, go to elifyshuffle.com/affiliate and check it out. If you're a promoter and you want to share this with people, add your little invite code at the end. That's all it is, and send them over here to get more information or walk them through this information, guys. But it's that simple. Guy, the only other thing I want to cover is what we have going on for the community in the coming week. If you want to add anything before I get into that, feel free. Otherwise, I'll jump over.
I do want to add just one little type thing. I've said it since I can remember. Take care of the little things. Big things take care of themselves.
Yeah.
I send my card, and that's what I focus on, and I continue to send it, and I religiously send it. the big thing from the affiliate aspect will take care of itself. It really is that simple. Here's my quick win, and it just came to mind because I had the meeting yesterday with an affiliate who took advantage of the extra discount. And in his week's time, he referred about a dozen people. And it was all just based on sharing and getting it to networks of people that understood that, hey, here's just a simpler way to market myself and get my information out. And now what happens with those from that meeting yesterday? There's an extended one with him and his 12 people next Thursday. And it's just getting more insight on what Elify can do for them. Getting the blinders off of so many people that there are no limitations in the application. Really, if you want to build it, there's a good chance it can be built. If you don't put time into it, there's a good chance it will look like you didn't put time into it. If you don't share it, there's a good chance the affiliate program isn't for you.
Yeah.
And just understanding that limitations are all what you put on yourself. That's the whole thing about it.
Yeah, can't agree more, Guy. I know you and I are talking about it every day with people that we get connected to all of the time. And it really just boils down to sharing, building something worth sharing, and then getting out there and using it. And just by doing that, people are going to ask you that question. They're going to lean in, like Mike was talking about, and say, what is that? How do I get that? Wow, that's cool. How did you do that? Those are the types of things you're listening for. Now, as we wrap this down the last 2 minutes, I just want to talk about the community as a whole and what we make available for the community to plug into. Obviously, there's a YouTube channel. There's some Facebook groups that you can tap into. We also hold 5 live events, one each day of the week. They're no more than an hour. Some of them are going to be shorter than an hour, but we're going to encourage you guys, if you really want to lean in and participate, if you really want to be a part of this community and be active, to take a look at this, to schedule some of this within your calendar if you can make these things, and to join us and to really become a part of the Elify community. So I just shared in the chat of the group here the card. This is, thank you, Kathy, put together a new week at a glance card. We hold 5 events a week. I used to refer to it as the 5-hour work week, right? If I wanted to plug into something, participate in something, invite people to come to something, here's what we do. Right now, we're on Friday with the Founders. You're going to see this as we scroll down on the card. Mondays, sprint planning. We're big, firm believers. You got to have a plan if you want to be successful. We talk about just making that plan and executing that plan. So we hold a quick call, the overview, sprint planning, real easy button to launch the Zoom and the time and when it's happening. It's happening at 11 Central every Monday. Without fail, it will happen. And if you need help making your plan so that you can be successful, you're going to want to join that call on Mondays. One of my favorite meetings every week for using the technology, it's Tech Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Central Time. Again, easy link to launch. This is a great place. You could invite people to join if they're interested in using the technology. These calls are open to anybody. You don't have to be a shuffler to participate in this. We want people to understand what's available for them to use and how to use it, right? You've got this amazing tool that can be used in so many different ways. But if you don't understand how to pick up the shovel and start digging, the shovel's not going to do much for you. Wednesdays, we talk about having the mindset of the champion, not just having a plan, but preparing, getting the skills and the knowledge to execute on that plan. Edge Global is part of our partners. They're going to talk about the mindset of a champion. What do you need to know to make that happen, to really live that life by design? On Thursdays, I do a roundtable call. I invite the community to come together. Let's work together, talk about a topic or a subject. Yesterday was building something worth sharing and really talking about how to build a card, and what you should have on your card and the intent of that card and how to best use it. And that brings us to where we are right now, Friday with the Founders. This is our chance to get together, to share those tips and tricks, to celebrate those things, to talk about this community as a whole and the value that we're creating for each other and that we can create for the world. And we want to invite everybody to invite their friends to come on and check that out. At the bottom of this card, you'll also see the links for our Facebook group, the Insiders, for the YouTube channel. We also have the affiliate group. If you're an affiliate, we encourage you to join that group. We can talk about all those strategies, Instagram, all of that is on here, very easily accessible. And you can either grab this code and use this, or we're going to be posting it out shortly. You're going to have the opportunity to create your version of the Week at a Glance card, so that if you want to invite somebody to come to one of these events, you can easily create your version and share it out to people. And again, if they come in or take any action off of that card, it tracks back to you as an affiliate and you get credit for it. So everybody, with that being said, if there's nothing else, I know we're at the top of our hour right now. I know we may have not been able to get to everybody. Guy, did you want to throw something in? I'll throw it over to you, and then we'll wrap this thing up.
We'll wrap this up here in just a second. While you're going through this, Gary raised his hand and want to make sure we answer that for him.
Go ahead, Gary. Good to have you on.
I was going to ask for the Week in a Glance card. Could y'all do instead of putting all those different numbers and all at the end, change it like a subject name, like elify.com/week at a glance, or WAG?
Yeah, let us look into that. One of the big things, Gary, on here is if you're going to be using this Week at a Glance card as a template to share out to other people, it will have that longer URL. I know we've had a few people on this call today who've registered other domains or created some bit.ly links to redirect to that if you're looking to make it shorter or simpler. And we'll look at making something that's universal, easy for all of us to remember, that can be easily linked to or redirected to this card, something like that, elify.com/WAG.
So we already know what the token code template is going to be. There are minor adjustments that Kathy wants to do to it. So just be aware, if you go create it right now, it's probably going to change just a little bit.
Yep.
But going in, creating a new card, going to the desktop builder, put in the token WAG, all capital, WAAG. And the card will appear and you can create it for your own. And ER was showing you his card that he had created. So it had his trackable link. So if you wanted to sign up underneath ER, feel free to do so. But from that, I think we want to wrap this up. We're 4 minutes past. Always trying to make sure that ER, when he gets into that affiliate program, to understand that it's extremely simple. All you need to do is refer people and you get paid. They sign up, you get paid. They sign someone else up, you get paid. It's basically that easy. So we're going to wrap this up from ourselves. We appreciate every one of you taking your time spending with us today. Get out and share. It's going to be a great day, great weekend. Have the right attitude. Right now is the time, and there's a purpose in doing this. So from us, everyone here involved, have a great day, great weekend. We'll see you Monday. Take care.